Hello, everybody. Welcome, everything world. We gotta fix Magi's camera because I moved.
Sitting there waving, telling you to wait like 2 seconds. Oh wait,
Your camera's not up right now, so you're fine. Well, now it is.
It is? Oh,
Now
wait.
it's up.
Oh, okay. Ah, damn. Okay, shit. I had time. All right, never mind.
You did.
Okay.
You weren't on camera yet. Yeah, you weren't on camera yet.
I didn't know. I was like, oh, all right. Cool. Welcome. Hello. We are back. It has been a time. As usual, I'm late by a few minutes. I had to send out a tweet to tell everyone to come watch our show. But we are back.
God's work.
Yes, I am doing God's work right now, which is not counting for the elections. So
Yes.
too soon. No,
Too
so we are back. We are here. Vega and Magi are back with a new episode of Everything LCS because Worlds is over, but it's okay because we're still going to talk about it because we missed last week's episode due to power outages due to Hurricane Zeta. But we are
Yes.
here now to bring you guys some like old impressions, like because semis was like a week ago and so was Worlds. Well, Worlds was last week, but we're also here to bring you guys some great stuff on just the off season, and I'm so excited to talk about it. But before we get into that, hey Vega, how's it going, man?
It's
How you
going
doing?
good. It's a Friday episode, so I'm in a great mood. I just casted a game that was 36-6, so I had plenty of time to think about the show during the cast. Yeah, I'm doing great tonight, man. I'm happy to be back. I've had time to simmer on the finals. Come down from my high of finding all the clips of me being like, Damwon's gonna win Worlds for like a month and a half ago. Now my head has shrunk back to normal size, so I'm ready to talk about it. How about you? How are you doing, Magi?
Me, I expected Damon to win. Just going through it, I'm really just sitting here like ravenously looking to see if any of the rumors, like anything, because I'm an off-season junkie. I eat, sleep, and breathe just like any free agent news. It's just so exciting to hear about like what players are coming and all this other stuff. So that's how I've been. I also got my ears pierced because I'm having a midlife crisis, even though I'm 24. So
Hey, you
things
never
are
know
going
when your
good.
midlife's gonna be. You could live to be 58. This could be your midlife. Okay.
This could be my midlife.
I had my ears pierced too at like 21. So like I feel you.
Okay, word. Okay, but yeah, so now we're back. We're finally able to talk about some league, and we can't just skip over what we missed. So semis. What do you briefly remember still?
Um.
uh, I think we should start off with the easiest one to talk about. Damwon versus G2. Like, I mean, okay, as a Damwon expert, you could start here
It,
on this.
yeah, it kind of went like we thought it would, right? Like we talked about the matchup, and I'm trying to call back exactly what my points were when we talked about. We essentially said like, hey, if G2's gonna win the series, like Caps has to go off, right? Because he gets the majority of their gold. Like he has to be like super good. And on the flip side, Nuguri has to be insane for Damwon to win. And well, we see the score line. Damwon was Damwon in this series. And I pretty much knew after this game, I was like, I don't think Damwon's gonna lose to anybody. Because we kind of the quarterfinal, we were like, well, they played another LCK team that they already beat. We don't really know if they're like insane, but when they like bowled over G2, who's like a very good team like that, you were like, all right, just give them the trophy. Like no one's stopping Damwon in finals. Like, I thought they played consistently the whole tournament at the same level. They looked awesome the entire tournament. There's never a point where we were like, Damwon looks bad. I mean, props to. I didn't think G2 looked bad in this series. I just thought Damwon was so
Damwon.
Yeah, they're Damwon. They were just so good that it was like, if G2's on the other side of the bracket, maybe they beat one of those Chinese teams. But they hit Damwon in semis, and their reign of terror over the LCK is over.
Yeah, and I mean, like at some point I was watching the game and it just seemed like G2 was really trying to do a thing. Mickey X Caps really going for the plays, really looking for it. And I don't know. I remember the Pantheon game where Mickey X just went like 1-9.
Yeah, I mean it was like this is your solo queue Pantheon, where you're like yeah, Pantheon Sports is gonna be sick. It's broken, and he just runs it down. Yeah, it was disgusting.
It was really rough, and and watching Caps too. I mean, they like got Silas 2 or 3 of the games or something, but even though I feel that is probably Caps' best champ, it was just I feel like Dom was Domon, but I feel the pressure kind of got to G2, and you kind of saw it in their play style. I assume like through not through the whole team, but just like certain players, like someone maybe trying to make some play, and it's like, all right, this will not work. I don't know why you're trying it. This isn't what you're supposed to be doing. But I don't know. I feel that series, like, all right, we all knew Dom was winning. As you said, they were just so consistent, the most consistent team, and they kept that up, which we saw in finals. And I mean that's what really got G2. They couldn't keep up with this team that was just consistently always performing and always being able to like take what G2 was giving. And then they decided to speedrun the last game.
Yeah, holy moly.
I was like, Jesus Christ, guys, please no. It's
I
like,
kept
not
being
like this.
they're not gonna end it now. They're gonna base here, right? Oh, somebody else got picked. I guess they're gonna keep pushing. I was like, it just kept being like, okay, well they got the tier 2. Oh, okay, they got the base turret, the inhib, okay. They're just gonna take the game. Wait, did Magi freeze?
I'm lagging a little, so let me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was lagging a little.
I was like,
okay,
damn,
wait,
he loves this joke, man. He's laughing his ass off at it.
I just lagged. But no, it's fixed. It's fixed.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were sick. Oh, is it fixed?
Let me see. That up.
It's okay.
That I don't. Okay, that worked.
Okay, there we go.
Word.
Sound great.
Yeah, I fixed it. Okay, I don't know what your joke was, but you can say it again if you want.
I was like, just essentially, I kept being like, they can't get any more out of this, right? And then somebody gets picked, and they're like, oh, okay, they're gonna take the inhibitor, and then somebody else gets picked, like, oh, okay, they're gonna take a Nexus turret base right here, right? And then it just continually, you're like, oh, they're gonna end the game at 18 minutes. Okay, that's happening. But yeah, I just felt like there was. Why is there a thing that says Team Liquid in the middle of the screen? There we go. I don't know what that was. It just felt like we talked about G2 had to move Dom1 off their play style to win this series, and they just couldn't. Like, Dom1 still did what Dom1 wanted to do the whole series. And the last game was like the epitome of it. It was like the snowball of they actually just don't care what you're doing. Even if like Caps gets his champion and Silas, like Dom1 didn't care. You know, they were like, and when you lose on like your best champion, that mentally is so tough. Because like, we got what we wanted and we still lost. So yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody was surprised Dom1 won.
Yeah, no one's really surprised. It just happened exactly how it went. And then, but moving on to, I was like freezing a little. So if I looked extremely focused, I was trying to figure out what I could do to like try and fix this. But yeah, you're right. It was just how it went. But moving on from the G2 and Dom1, we're still going to be talking about Dom1 later on, is more about, oh shit. Fuck, why is this happening now?
Oh no, you're cursed.
God. I know, I'm actually cursed today. Let me switch stuff. Let me check something. Let me try something. I'm sorry, guys. This hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah,
actually,
it's like early, like spring split. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oops.
Oh wait, that's my camera. While Magi is figuring his stuff out.
Jeez, what the fuck?
Hey man, you're gonna figure it out.
It's like a maybe. It'll probably like start happening a little.
Yo, it looks your quality just like shot up.
Really?
Yeah, you're like cam quality is so much clearer now.
Okay, what the fuck? Okay, well, I don't know. It's gonna. I feel it's just gonna like occasionally happen, not like it'll be quick, but I might, like miss out on some stuff. But anyways, let's go back into the
Yeah, that
su-
LEC shirt is clean. Let me just say real fast.
Oh
Let me
yeah,
just say
guys.
that shirt is clean as hell.
I had the hoodie too, but I can't wear the hoodie right now because for some reason we have a random heat wave, like 60 degrees, and I'm sweating right now. But yeah, so now we could go on and talk about tuning and top esports. Many people thought the day before the semis, I was like, I think Suning's gonna win tomorrow. I'm not changing my bracket, but I feel like Suning's gonna win. Turns around next day. Oh, what happened? Suning 3-1. Um, really impressive performance by them. But did you feel it was more of an underperformance from top?
Yeah, I felt like Suning the whole tournament, like from the beginning of group stage till like quarters, we talked about like they were just getting better. Like we came in and we were like, yeah, SOFM didn't look like insane, like blah blah blah, and like coming into Worlds, and then like he looked insane at Worlds. I love you too. I'm a Vega one trick or a Kayla one trick. Yeah, and it just felt like they just got better at every stage, and I think when we watched the Fnatic series, me and you were both kind of like, I don't know if Fnatic played insane or if Top just looked vulnerable in that series. And at that point, it was like, all right, Suni definitely could take this series, like, because they have looked better in their games. And after the beat JDG, you were like, I don't know who the best Chinese team in the world is. So
Yeah.
I think we talked about. I didn't change my pick either because I was like, yeah, but this feels like one of those situations where I'll be like, Suning might do it, and then top 3-0s them, and I'm like, okay, all right, well, never mind. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
super
go ahead,
sick
go
by
ahead.
it. Super sick by Suning. I mean, we even last time we were talking about like, are they the IG of this world that are like, Chinese team that randomly gets really good at the tournament?
Yeah, just popping off completely,
That was a
and
sick
it was
series.
yeah, it was just really cool to see them really just continually develop. I feel like if Worlds had like one more week, they would have had like an even more intense series with Damwon. They wouldn't win, but they still have an even more
Right, they're
intense
not gonna be
series.
dumb, but
They're not gonna be Damwon, but they're gonna have an even like rougher series for them. And and with that series, I mean, like it was a between Top and Suning. It was a decent seating for Suning, but then like I'm remembering. I mean, yeah, it's been like 2 weeks since I watched the games, but I remember like Top Esports. They got the dragon. I think Jack Love was Ezreal, and he just flashes over the wall, and I'm like, Jackie Love, what are you doing? Why would you do that? And then they all die. They legit just all die. And I'm just like, what? Why
yeah,
would you? What are you doing? So I mean, that's one of the proofs there for like people were saying, Jack. Well, for instance, Frost Garen, one of the analysts on LEC, was saying Jackie Love still has to prove himself. She used to be on LPL, so yeah, she's an expert on him. And she was like, Jackie Love still has to prove himself. And that right there, that freaking flash over the wall was as Ezreal. He just went, and it was just like, oh my god, what are you
it's just
doing?
like the last series though, when he was on Ezreal, when they were winning the last game against Fnatic, the game 5, and he kept eating forward. And you're like, stop, Jackie Love,
Yeah,
stop. This is the only way they win the game, and you keep doing it.
he thought he could do it again. That just ran it down to Suni, and Suni was just like, all right, cool, thank you. This is all I need. Thank you for the free money and the win. I was like, oh, jeez, it was just. But yeah, really happy Suning made that improvement, and I'm happy Top lost, because they honestly, I feel they didn't have as good of a tournament as everyone felt. So I'm happy with the results, and I was so happy about the results because this finals was by far the best finals I've witnessed in a while. Suning versus Damwon Gaming, it was just really good, really action packed. It wasn't like any boring Genji. Oh wait, no, not Genji. Any boring Damwon versus DRX or anything like that. It was
Right,
just,
yeah.
it was just like these guys going after each other, making plays, doing these map rotations, like really, really contesting and showing, hey, this is why we're in the final. This is why we're at Worlds. Look at us, be good as hell, and shut the fuck up, because we are the two best regions in the world right now. And you saw that, and we witnessed our first Worlds pentakill
Yeah,
ever,
that was sick. That was sick. The first,
which was super insane.
yeah, I think It's definitely one of the better finals in recent memory, for sure in recent memory, because like we just been watching EU get like blasted for like the last 2 years
Over and over again.
So like we actually got a good finals, and I don't know if it's something about League, but every time there's some cool storyline about somebody's like, I finally made it to the World Finals, you know, like
they lose,
they just get fucking eviscerated, and it's just like, damn, man, that sucks. Like,
man,
that's heartbreaking, man. You saw like the backstage stuff for them for Suning, and it was just like, oh my god, I can't watch this. Like, it's gonna make me like cry. But
did you watch any of the stories that they put out, like for Huan Fong or any of the other? I didn't really take the time out to watch any, but I heard they were like really good and really like, made your heart flutter a little.
I watched like 1 or 2. They were pretty good. They were really good. You're definitely like, oh man, this is like some high quality shit's getting put out.
You're like, oh fuck, this is a movie.
Like, holy shit, right? Like, relax. Yeah, considering COVID and all that, they really killed it with this Worlds. Like, they did a really good job with it.
The fact they had a live audience was like, it was so funny when Damwon won though. And it was
my god, dude. I was like, I had the flashbacks too. I can't remember who it was. Was it Imp? No. I can't remember who it was that was like, we're going to turn this place into a library. And it kept getting posted in the Reddit thread after this finals, and I'm like, dude, that's what they get, dude. They didn't even cheer when Damwon was announced. And I was like, I mean, I get that. You know,
they didn't even cheer when they okay, there were like slight cheers when the trophy was raised, but like, come on, guys, just like, I know you're sad and salty, but like, come on, don't like.
Dude, if I'm a Damwon player, I'm like lapping it up, man. I'm like, yeah, y'all don't want to cheer for shit. We just beat your team.
Oh man,
LCK's back, baby. Not really.
LCK
is just Damwon.
Yeah, it's just Damwon gaming.
Damwon.
But who knows? Maybe we'll see a type of revolution. But it could just be the players. Like,
yeah, if some of the rumors are true that I've heard.
What are these rumors exactly?
Okay, do we want to segue out of the Worlds into the tinfoil hat portion of the show?
Yes.
Okay, so rumors are that LS will be going to SKT.
Oh yeah, that one.
As a draft coach with Polt, the StarCraft and TFT pro. Which a lot of people
don't know much about him.
I argued with somebody about it this week. I know Polt from StarCraft. He played StarCraft for a long time, and he streams TFT now. Really smart guy. Was always considered like, he's been in the esports scene in Korea for like 10 years. So he's a very well respected guy. So it kind of makes sense because he has, I got an argument with somebody who was like, how can they get a coach like that has, no experience, blah, blah. I'm like, that's Coma. That's literally what Coma did. He was a StarCraft pro, and they're like, come coach the league. And it makes sense to hire him with LS.
Yeah, exactly. And now he's with LS, who's just super knowledgeable, causing this like movement or whatever. The item movement will be shut down once the item rework happens. So
yeah,
all this work is for naught. But
yes, I mean it's gonna die soon. But
yeah, it's definitely gonna
die. It's good because I think like Polt's a guy who's been in esports a long time. He'll be a great mentor to like young players in esports, and LS is obviously like big brain about the game. So if that goes through, it kind of makes more sense now because T1 is now a North American organization who has, who's like based in Korea. Like they have a team in Korea, but they're based in North America now. Like their like CEO is in like Chicago, and it makes sense. They've started to get more Western stuff. Like they get T1.
Yeah, they're like spreading. I mean, a lot of other like Korean orgs are spreading their influence too, like Genji and everything. I think FPX is trying. Well, FPX is Chinese, but I think FPX is trying to do stuff too.
Genji's got a lot too. Genji has a lot of people like randomly around the world, like that are streamers for them.
So, yeah, it's really cool to see. I like the idea about I don't really watch LS too much, but when it comes to kind of patch notes, getting some more insight on what certain changes could mean, it's cool to hear. It's also cool to hear someone who kind of thinks about like champions how I do. When I'm reading patch notes, I'm thinking, oh shit, this champ got this type of buff, this could be crazy, you know. So it's kind of cool to. So that's one reason why I watched. So it's cool that he has supposedly moved into this role, most likely. And yeah, I'm excited to see we're gonna see Faker on Vel'Koz and
Dude,
Xerath.
we're gonna see Faker
I'm
on
telling you,
Vel'Koz.
we're gonna see Faker on Vel'Koz and Xerath. But yeah, talking about coaches, I guess we could start talking about just a coach shift in general, guys. So all the new people who have joined us so far, we're right now it's off season time, and
It's
currently,
off
like
season.
Vega, a lot of coaches have made like I feel there's a coach shift happening. And I feel currently like there especially in LCS, there are going to be three orgs that are just going to be a cut above the rest because they like kind of started this coach shift early, and that's like TL, C9, and TSM because TL kind of started it this spring with Jat coming in.
You might be
You
able to
know,
throw EG into that tier.
yeah, EG. Well, Peter. Well, okay, yeah. Actually, let me the coach shift in NA as in
Oh,
like
okay,
so
yeah.
so no, you're okay. No, you're what you're saying is correct. I just forgot to add them as well. I was just thinking of like the main three orgs because currently I feel like with TL with Jat, C9 with Rainover, TSM with Berg. We don't know how good of a coach Berg is going to be, but he's technically been coaching TSM for probably the past 2 years, but through his
Yeah.
position. And I feel all three of these orgs are just gonna be a step above the rest because I mean we already see Jat. He just cleaned house at TL.
Yeah,
Um,
for real. Holy moly.
yeah, and he like turned the team around like um and we're gonna start seeing that as well. Like C9, they have Rainover. I like already believed Rainover was gonna be. I was waiting this whole season. This whole season, I was like, Rainover coach when? Let's go. When's Rainover gonna be coach? Finally happened.
Yeah,
I didn't, but I didn't realize. I didn't think that he'd be coaching C9. I thought they'd like sell him off, but Rainover, super smart player, super respected player, and I feel when Blabber was like that crazy like rookie that was when he was like fresh off getting coached by Rainover and being taught all these things. So and then with TSM with Bjergsen, I mean Bjergsen's just a smart guy, and him finally being able to like lead a team as a coach means he could form like TSM the TSM culture in his own way like now, and he could really just focus on the whole coach aspect. So
that's true.
so I feel those three orgs are going to be great. And then as you mentioned, EG bringing in Peter Dunn,
Dun dun
I think great.
dun.
Dun, 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 dun. And then we have IMT bringing in Gil Hoto, um, and we'll see how that goes because Origin didn't have the
Well,
best performance, but I feel that was more on the like actually can't it's like it was just Origin being Origin to be honest. But yeah, I mean. You could touch on Peter Dunn and like the other guys if you
yeah.
and pick up on that.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see the biggest one for me is I want to see what TL does with their staff, how they fill that out. Because something you pointed out to me, and I didn't bring it up to you today because I knew you'd like be like so hyped about it. I wanted to save it for the live reaction. So I have heard that there's potential that Impact stays on as the assistant coach.
I fucking knew it, man.
I wanted this live reaction. I didn't tell you
Fucking
today
knew it.
because I heard. So I first started asking about it when you pointed out to me like no one signed. There's no rumors about Impact being signed anywhere. Like no one. And he's an NA resident. He was a really good top laner last split. They're signing a new top laner, and he's still in all the promotional stuff for TL, which you pointed out to me, and I was like, that's kind of weird. They're still putting him in all the promotional stuff. And so I started asking around, and I heard that there's potential that he is the assistant coach there because one of the big things is him and Kane butted heads a lot. If you watch TL show last week, you could see a lot of times there was like a differentiating opinion on how top lane should be played out. Mm-hmm. But guy's obviously got a wealth of knowledge. He's just super good player. Really smart player, world champion. So yeah, I want to see what Jat does with that roster and how Jat looks this next split, right? Because they have a lot of talent on that roster, and they had a really good split. But I would go on a limb to say that third place is they consider that a failure. You know, like TL considers that not a, you know, they went to Worlds, that's great, but they want to win a title. And this will be Jat's first full split, like where he's completely under his feet. Like coming in summer off of spring is never easy. Like he's going to have a whole off season to build his own staff here and like set up things for himself. So I'm really excited to see what they do.
Yeah.
The one
and
oh, go ahead.
Oh, wait, I was just gonna answer like someone was saying, it was already championship roster. How much of that did chat do? It's like after coming off such a really rough split. I mean, I feel it takes a lot for a coach to kind of like reset, like how you're like reset the mindset in general. Like, sure, you have a split like off, but if you have a split off, I mean, not split off, but even if you have like a small break in between, that doesn't mean you're going to really bounce back immediately. It's like, yeah, they were a championship roster. It's just kind of crazy how like, I mean, also it also tested the fact that, you know, spring split, they legit came in not caring like at all. But it's good to see that, and even in the TL Legends stuff, oh, not TL Legends, like the Team Liquid stuff, like videos, you could see how like Jat as a coach, how he was talking to players, how he was like addressing them and everything, completely different from how Kane and Dodo did it. I don't know. I just had a different vibe, and I could feel like, honestly, if Jat wasn't on TL, if he was like on some other team or something, he could probably like lead them to like to at least a playoffs, you know, like any team, just based on how I saw him as a coach and his approach to the players. So that's just addressing that real quick. But yeah, Vega, what were you saying?
I agree. Just to kind of expand on what you said too, he kind of he feels like a coach. Like he kind of commanded the room. It felt like when he came in like the videos we saw, it was, you know, and this is not a shot, but at anybody like Kane or anybody like that, but it always felt like one of the issues was whenever you see these coaches come in, they're like same age as players, and they're like, hey, maybe we should have done this, blah blah blah. And he was much more, hey, don't worry about this, this is our goal, this is what we're doing, I'm talking right now and you're listening, you know, like style, which is good, because I think that's what a championship roster like that needs. Is all these guys know how to play the game, they just need a person to say, we all got to be on the same page. You know, all this information is going to funnel through one person out to 5 people. We're all on the same page. You know, we know when to listen, we know when to not, you know. So I'm excited about that. But the most important coaching decision yet to be made this offseason.
CLG?
What the hell is happening with CLG? What the hell is CLG doing, okay?
What the fuck is going on, CLG? We need to know. We got to get to the point, because...
Answer my email, CLG.
Because how am I getting rumors of like what players are going to have already when I don't even know who their coach is? That's just how I feel about it right now.
Waiting for me to announce my free agency.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Vega to come in and be like, I'm the coach, and I'm like,
I'm the coach of
CLG,
Vega's
gonna be like, and then Vega's gonna be like, Magi, I need you to like flame these players also. And I'm like,
you want
okay,
to be an
sure.
assistant coach? Yeah,
I'll be the assistant coach, or I'll just coach academy.
Just coach academy for us. Yeah, I don't know. It's always confusing me when I'm hearing roster rumors and there's no head coach. It's like, guys, how do you even know what players you want if you don't have your coach there who's going to decide the play style for this team?
Exactly, and I mean, it seems like, all right, and okay, guys, we're gonna do a little theory crafting here with CLG because we'd like to know. But it's really weird, you know, because supposedly, rumor has it, they picked up like Hanser, and they picked up definitely possibly for the ADC position, which is weird, you know, because from the looks of it, they're still keeping like Pobelter and everything, right?
Pobelter's the only person I've heard that is almost 100% returning.
Okay, exactly. So, and it's just like weird because if you are someone in the scene and like have seen all these players, you know, I don't think a coach would be picking these players, to be honest. You know, like I don't know who's GM right now. I think it's still like that Tato guy.
Trinity,
whatever his name is.
I'm just gonna say this. I love Definitely's a great guy. Y'all can do better. Okay, there's a lot of AD carry talent, and I don't think Deathly's even that much better than Stixay.
No, he's not. You know why? Because he couldn't even carry. Neither of them could carry an academy. What am I saying? Like I was watching a game, and it was like EG. It was an EG academy game, and like definitely was kind of just like irrelevant. Meanwhile, it was more like Anda and Gyu and like their top side doing anything. Honestly, not saying Deathly's a bad player, but he's a. I mean, I haven't. Okay, no, I have seen him play recently, but and I feel he still hasn't figured out like, hey, he hasn't figured out how to really be that carry. He's really just a role player, you know.
Imagine
And
building
you know,
like season 8 Team Liquid without double lift. That's what his roster's gonna be. You're gonna be like Haunter in top lane, who's not gonna be able to play carries effectively in this because he's gonna have fucking Pobelter mid. And then you're gonna have a mid laner, can't compete internationally. And then instead of double lift, you'd be like, nah, we got Deft at home. Goes home. It's definitely. And definitely can't. He's not gonna carry this team. Yeah, just sign Ryoma. Let's just get this party started. Let's just get CLG.
Ryoma ADC.
My favorite mid laner. Cut Pobelter. Sign Ryoma. No, but seriously, I don't know. CLG doesn't make any sense. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let's just get all of the forlorn mid laners onto this team.
But
yeah, I got no idea about their coaching staff. An interesting point right now is that Reaper has not signed anywhere that we know of. And I'm not saying that for CLG because there's no fucking way CLG signs Reaper. He's not going to torture himself. He can go
he's not
anywhere.
going to completely rebuild a whole organization from the ground up due to them having a poor performance. They probably tried to get him.
Oh, I'm sure.
Might still be trying to get him, to be honest. But like,
it is weird that he is not signed yet because we're getting close to free agency starting, and you would probably want your head coach in place already.
Yeah, and I mean, for all we know, he could have found a position. Like they're just keeping it on the really down low. But I just feel like based on probably not CLG. But other than that, I mean, let's talk a bit more on like IMT. You know, because they just sent out this whole statement and everything, going like, hey, we're gonna use this as a rebuild year.
Yep.
And that's really interesting. You know, I really like it that they just went flat out and going like, hey guys, this is the plan. You know, we knew we were shit last year. We're not gonna be really good right away. So this year we're just gonna do this. And I don't know. Let's see. This is like the second org to really do that, because the first org to do that I feel was like kind of 100 Thieves like this year, because Papa came in and was like, I'm gonna rebuild blah 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 and everything. And
yeah, but they were kind of weird with it too.
Yeah,
they're like, we're gonna rebuild, guys. Here's Medios.
We're rebuilding. Here's Medios.
We're trying playing for like 8 years.
Yeah. So, but you know, with IMT coming in, I feel like with an EU coach coming in, they're not coming in here with the same prejudice as like a NA coach or like an NA GM or whatever. I feel as an EU coach, he's gonna come in, he's gonna like watch some VODs. He's gonna probably come in. He's like, all right, what are the LCS like NA players like tops available? Because I heard he brought in Xerxes. Is it Xerxes?
Xerxes.
Yeah, Xerxes. Yeah, they said it. Heard they brought him in, so you know, got their jungler. And I feel he's probably gonna come in. He's like, look, I don't give a fuck about NA. Show me all your top laners. Trash. Okay, let's show me your academy top laners. Ah, fake god. I'm just gonna keep pushing that. Oh man, but no, it's like I feel like IMT putting out that statement is great because for one, you have a new coach, and two, you chose like two guys. Their assistant coach Jensen Go. He was the coach of Legacy who got to Worlds this year.
Mm-hmm.
He was also coach of a VCS team the previous year, who also got to Worlds, and he's coaching their academy team. So, I don't know. It's really cool to see IMT take this approach, and they're bringing in good people. Like Gil Hoto, he did get to, what was it, first year of franchising for LEC. He did end up getting like second place in the spring, and then like they kind of faltered a little in the summer, but you know, they still did like, they didn't do terrible. Then it just gradually got worse, really. But I feel like I definitely think he's a good and smart coach because he also got Schalke to a finals appearance with like upset as well.
Yeah, like several
So
people have spoken out about like how good he is. So
yeah,
I have some
so
faith in it. I like.
yeah,
I,
it's. Oh
I,
yeah, go ahead.
I,
I
I
didn't really finish.
like. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, no,
No,
no, no,
no, no.
I said the wrong word. No, I said the wrong word. I said I didn't
Okay.
really have anything else to say. So
Oh,
you
I
can
was
go
like,
ahead.
okay, okay. Um, I like their approach. I think they're making the right idea. They probably don't have, and we kind of talked about this last split. Is I don't know the numbers, but the rumor is their operating budget for their roster. They're obviously not competing with like TL, TSM, these big rosters. So it's a good idea for them to be like, hey, we're gonna build. We're gonna build a team. From the ground up, and I like that approach because they kind of did it last split during summer. They were like, hey, we're going to play a bunch of our academy players and stuff, which was cool. But we gave them a lot of props for it because before we were like, fucking Ica and like all these people you're paying that we hate watching. And they, by the end of the split, were like, hey, we're going to play our academy players, cool. And we gave them a lot of props for it. And I'm glad that they're coming into this season saying like, hey, we're going to kind of keep the trend of like, we're going to play some younger players. We're going to sign some unknowns, scouting grounds coming up, stuff like that. And I think that's the right path for the CLGs, the Golden Guardians, the, Immortals of the world. If you don't have the budget where you can compete with these teams, this is the way to do it. You build up these teams, right? Like you're going to have to build through that. And it's good for NA too, because it's going to have, there's teams that have big budgets that are signing huge free agents, and there's teams that are building through, like you would call it in real sports, like the draft. They're building through the draft, right?
Yeah.
They're getting younger players, they're developing them up, and that's how they get. And that's good. The league should have, comparisons like that, where you have clear lines of like, yeah, they build this way. This other Team Liquid buys their player once they get good. So yeah, I like that Immortals came out and said we're going to get a really good staff, and we're just going to work with that. They're going to put their money in their staff and let them build a good roster.
Yeah, and that was just really good to see. Is there any other like team? I mean, let's see. I know Dig announced that they're keeping Dardoch. They let go of ThinkCard. I don't know anything else.
We don't know.
Where they're.
I don't think we know their coach yet, do we?
No, we don't know their coach yet. I know that
You know who's going there. Not coaching, but you know what player's going there. It's been rumored.
The player?
Do you know who?
I feel like I should.
Sneaky is
rumored
to be on Dig.
Okay, yeah, I definitely heard that. Holy shit.
Sneaky is rumored to be on Dig this split.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Sneaky Afrobot, and
Dude, you go back like 5 years, I'd be like, holy shit, Sneaky Afro. That's nuts.
Like, you're like, that's insane. This guy's crazy. Now I'm just like,
now I'm like, how could you let Johnson go? What's wrong with you, Dig?
Yeah, actually, and I know, and that's one, and Johnson. Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. Johnson was on the market to be sold, along with Actually, no, FBI. Just a lot of teams are interested in FBI, but yeah, Johnson. They're like selling him off. I know 100 Thieves is looking for an ADC. They were looking at FBI also, maybe Johnson. I know they're getting rid of Cody's son. But yeah, Dig. Only thing I know, Dardoch, and then like Sneaky Afro. I think Afrom's still. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I don't know. I just want coaches, man. I just want to know, because if I know the coach, I could be excited about the team. Because then because then I could get like this banger team. Okay, this like crazy team, and then like, I don't know. And then I just get like who can I think of? What was it really? And then I get Zabutine again. Like I can't. I don't want to know the players. I want to know who the coach is first. It's cool to hear like, hey, players
they're
going here,
going,
this player's going here, this player's going here. But I need to I love knowing like what new teams could be, but I need to know who the coach is, because I need to just have expectations. Like, do I think like, yeah, this roster could be great, but like what the fuck?
Who's coaching it? Who's controlling this roster? There's a sick question in the chat. Mischief David dropped a sick question in the chat.
About to read it right now. You can start off with the answer if you read it already.
Okay, so I will say, at least in the last year, it seems like Reggie has backed off doing that as much. Part of that with Parth this year. I think that the reason for that is TSM as a brand has never trusted one of their coaches a lot, and Reggie takes a lot of personal responsibility for their brand. But I think at this point, Bjergsen is almost more synonymous with the TSM brand than Reggie is, because Bjergsen has been there so long. He's been the mid laner. He's been the face of TSM for so long that I think that he will
Longer
get
than Reggie.
longer than Reggie. Yeah, so I think that he will get more of a fair shot from Reggie. I do not think Reggie will be quick to step in, and I think that a lot of the coaches that come into TSM, like Parth or whoever the fuck else they've had over the years, Zhang, like Peter Zhang, all these people, they just like the players just don't respect them, right? Like when they come in, they're like, you have players like
Shut the fuck up.
yeah, you have players like Bjergsen or Doublelift that are like, you don't know more about the game than me, and I don't think that will happen with Bjerg. I'm not worried about Bjerg commanding people's attention, because like, you know, if you brought in like 4 players who are like brand new pros into that team, and fucking Bjergsen is like, this is how you should be playing the game, you're gonna listen, because it's Bjergsen. He's the, you know, arguably the greatest NA player ever to play. So I don't think Reggie will have to do that as much as he's had to do with other ones. So, because like Reggie is the owner, he commands a lot of respect, and a lot of times that's the reason Reggie steps in, is because players are overrunning, the coaches can't get control of the team, and so Reggie feels the need to step in and be like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and you're gonna listen to me because you listen to me because I'm Reggie. And I don't think Bjerg will have that problem. I think Bjerg, in my opinion, will probably be a pretty good coach.
Yeah, I definitely think like they will not have that same problem. Like yeah, Reggie definitely did come in often, but he actually didn't do that this year. This whole year, nope, did not show up or anything. It was just like Peter Zhang didn't have that good of a job. Went back to being like strategic coach or academy coach or whatever. And Parth came in because they're like, we're too lazy to like get a coach right now. And I mean, Bjergsen, he thought about it even prior to like he thought about at the beginning of the season actually to like start coaching, but he wanted to like end with a win, and he did. So that's why he started coaching. And so um like Parth being the coach this time, it was just like a placeholder for Bjergsen. I really think he won't have that same problem because, as Vegas said, Bjergsen is TSM at this point. You know, everyone was like, "No, Bjergsen, you're not playing anymore." But then they're like, "Oh, but Bjergsen's our coach." You know, but um, and Bjergsen's a player that commands a lot of respect. Well, yeah, he doesn't command it, but he gets a lot of it due to
Yeah.
who he is as a player. Many people throughout the scene like say he's such a great teammate. I love working with him. You will never have a better like teammate than Bjergsen, and you know that means a lot. And the fact he's looked at so highly, it honestly gives him an edge over every TSM coach. It gives him an edge over all the coaches here right now. You know, like that's really it. I think currently TSM, I mean Bjergsen would probably be the most respected coach in the league coming into spring, just because of who he is. This is like if you think about it, this is like the real like first player coach, I guess, in NA. To be honest,
The
like
first
sure, Jack
great
used to
player.
play. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bjergsen is like a fantastic player, and this is like the first time like one of our fantastic players have decided to like, yeah, I'm gonna retire and I'm gonna coach. You know, I've been legit waiting for this to happen for many players. I've been waiting for Xmithy to like retire and decide like, hey guys, I'm gonna coach or be like a jungle coach, positional coach. I feel every league needs more positional coaches. Or like Aframu. I thought Aframu was like going to like retire because he like did a coaching for like a scouting grounds one year, and I was like, cool. He's like trying it out, and you know, so I didn't want it to be Bjergsen, but I'm excited because this is the first time like a really well-known player, a well-respected player, is moving to the coaching position, and I think this is what like NA in particular has needed for a while because we need these coaches who like get respect just because of who they are and also know the game. So I don't think Bjergsen's gonna have that problem like at all.
It's a good take. It's a good take. All right. There's something I want to talk about with you. And I know we're going to go deep dive on this. Is there anything you want to say about rosters and coaches before we move on?
No. I'm done. There's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah. Let's talk format.
Yes. Okay. Now, before we begin, as a lot of you may not know, the LCS format has changed. There will only be
allegedly. Pretty much everyone is confirming it, though. Pretty much every person is confirming it.
Yes, everyone. And the change is the LCS will now be one split. So, what does this mean for the league? Vega? I mean, I could talk about it too, but I want you to start on.
I think okay. I'm gonna explain it, and then I'm gonna go into a spiel. So, according to Travis, who put out a great video about it this week, it's one. It even feels weird calling it a split because it's not really a split. It's just a season. It's just a season.
That's what it is now. It's great. It's great. I'm so excited. Go on.
This is so hyped. So every team plays every other team 5 times. This starts where spring would start, runs all the way to when summer would end, and there's a tournament in the middle with the top 6 teams play, and whoever wins goes to MSI. So you don't have to worry about that. MSI still happens. But the reason I think this is so sick is one of my biggest gripes with esports as opposed to real sports is LCS titles didn't feel like they were like hugely impactful, because when you won a spring title, when you looked up titles, you know, and you're like, hey, this guy's got like 6 titles, it's like, yeah, but he got like 5 spring split titles,
and they're like, that's spring split, bro.
Yeah, and there's like no way to tell. Now you could definitively say like they were the best team this whole season. Like, imagine C9's hype if it was a season-long split last year, and you were like, man, they started out the gate hot, but, you know, into season, blah, 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 you know. And I think this gives you, like, especially us as content creators now, we legitimately could talk about a whole season. You know, of, like, a body of work, of, like, a coaching staff has a whole season to work on stuff. There's no, hey, we're trying to build a roster to win spring split to get to MSI. You know, you want to be good, but now you could actually say, like, I'm going to start a guy in spring from Academy last year, and by the time we get to 3/4 into the season, he's gonna have played a lot. You know, we play every team 5 times. It's just so good for growth, in my opinion. And you're getting essentially best of 5s against these teams over the course of a season.
Yeah, that's true. Across multiple patches and everything. It was just like really cool to just know that like such a big change is happening, because it's like this is the first time like anything like this has happened really in esports, because we know everything usually has a tournament. We have like CS:GO right now, they have Flashpoint, they're like tournament series right now, and then there's like DreamHack, and then there's the CS Major, blah blah, all these really big tournaments that just happen mostly in like a span of like what, month, 2 weeks or whatever. I don't really know about other like esport scenes, but now we have a whole season of esports. Now I have one concern, Vega. Do you have an idea of what that concern might be? Hello?
I don't know. I was thinking. I don't know. What is your concern? I could see holes in it, but what is your concern?
Okay, my one concern is like potential burnout, I guess, because if you're looking at, and not like burnout, they're like playing like all these games all the time, because these guys still have their break for MSI, right? Yeah,
they'll be a tournament, and then someone's gonna go to MSI. So
yeah, so they're still gonna have their break. The thing is, usually they have the break, and then they're like, okay, guys, we can reset for the next season. Now it's like, yo, if you're like 2-12 and MSI happens, I don't know how your team is feeling going into the second half of the season. Okay, because I could imagine a CLG, you finish the season and you're 0-18, or like 1-7, or you finish half the season and you're like 1-17. Like, what are they going to do? How will the player feel? Like, are they just gonna be like, damn, I'm shit, I'm gonna retire? Because I know that's a really extreme case, but it's not an extreme case, because we have had teams that have gone like 2-16 in splits. So And like, it's great that it's happening. I'm super excited, but it's just like, oh man, I could see that happening. I could see like a team just going like, oh, or like just getting. I can see a team only getting like maybe 5 wins the whole season,
Yeah.
and like, I mean, and it will suck for the team and the players, but it really just like exposes the fuck out of like everything. Because it's like, dude,
I actually like that side of it because I'm like, you know what? If you're that bad to win 5 games over an entire season, that should be your motivation to fix your fucking team.
yeah, like, I don't know, get it, like your coach. If your coach can't figure out what the fuck is wrong with your team, and you guys can't get more than 10 wins, honestly, like you get like that's when Oregon needs to be like, okay, guys, we got to chop it up. And I don't know, like,
You're
what
playing
happens?
45 games in a season. It's 45 games.
Yeah, 45 games.
We're approaching like NBA territory.
10. Like, it's like that was my that's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, damn, it's awesome, but potential burnout. And that's just because I feel for the players. You know, I feel for them when they get flamed all the time and all this other shit. And then like they go through a whole season, they're gonna be flamed. Like, actually, there's just gonna be a meme. Honestly, people are gonna run out of a flame to give, and they're just gonna meme on them. Like,
yeah,
jeez.
It's gonna be like, okay, NBA is 82 game regular season. It's 82 games, and I just think about those teams that win like 15 or 16 games in the NBA. The only issue I have with this is like in sports like that have like a year-long season, there's a draft. So like there's like theoretically if CLG won 10 games, you could say like, okay, we don't flame them because they're gonna get the first pick and like scouting, but scouting, like the way free agency works, there is no equivalent to that.
Yeah.
You know, like first pick in scouting grounds, I can just be like, hey, just don't sign with that team.
Yeah, that's legit it. That's all they can do, because they changed it where like, oh, you're not like legit immediately in a contract with this team. You're just like, you're in a negotiation lock with this team.
Which I guess technically is how like pro sports work too, but
yeah,
but
with pro sports they could still sell the player is the thing. Like,
yeah,
they can't even sell the player that they're negotiating with.
Yeah, they can't trade him or anything. So it's like, I think until that system gets fleshed out, you're gonna run into the problem you're talking about. Because like that's how you avoid like a team that's doing terribly. You can be like, yeah, it's just not their season, but it's okay because they're gonna get like first pick in scouting grounds, and then next season. Also, the global side of esports makes that harder too, because your pool it's not just like traditional sports where you're like the guys in my country. It's like I don't have to build from here. I can build from over here elsewhere in this country. I can go get people from Korea. I can get people from Europe, which is weird. But I am hyped. It's more games. It's more content. Player burnout is going to be real. Like,
yeah,
there is not a reset button in the middle. Like, if you suck in the first split, yeah, you're going to come into the second split, and that record's going to be the same it was when you left.
Yep. There's legit nothing you could do other than win. Like, you have to win.
It does make it mean more though, like, because now you're like, if you win a title at the end of the season, it's like you won the year. You were like the North American champion for the year, and that is really cool. I think that now, whoever wins titles like this year going forward, you look at those titles now with like more. You almost put an asterisk next to old ones of like, well, it was only half the year that you won. With these now, you're like, you trudged it out through like a 45 game season and then won playoffs at the end of it.
Yeah,
it's pretty hype.
You know what I think? I feel like, because you know how LEC, they had like their random week break, in between the split. I feel like they may end up trying that, because we don't know the whole format right now. We only know that it's going, and then MSI, they have a break. I feel like because it's like a whole season, I feel like maybe they may try that like week break at
there should
some
be
point.
bye weeks. There absolutely should be bye weeks.
Yeah, definitely should be bye weeks, because it's a lot. I don't want to see like my favorite players like just die out and everything due to like, oh, I'm playing 5 scrims a day, 4 days a week. Then Then I go play LCS, lose, go home, flame myself, play LCS again,
get on Twitter,
lose
get
again.
flamed. Like, go see my coach, get flamed again. Yeah, I could see that getting burnt out.
Yeah, so, but the other thing that people could realize, week, I'm going to say,
Uh-oh. We're losing Magi.
oh no.
Now you're back.
Oh, shit.
Okay, now you're back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. I told you it's gonna be like a little like jut. I like fix it a little, but yeah. So the thing is, I think by at least week 6 in the spring part of the season, people are gonna realize, hey, we know who the shitter teams are, kind of. Like we have a pretty good idea of who we could kind of get a lead against, and then when like other orgs go against the shitter teams, we could see them just sub in, let me see, Tenacity, go up there and get. Actually, no, they want to sub out. They want to sub out someday.
Well, they might though, because it might be like you said with burnout. It's like, hey, we got a
Yeah.
week. We got a week. This week we're playing. It's like 2-week teams. Let's give someday this week off. We'll let somebody get some reps. That is something that will be really sick with this, because you have the ability. You have 45 games. You have the ability. If you're a team that's like sitting at like 18-6 or something like that, you can be like, yeah, I'll give a game. Let somebody get some reps in.
Yeah.
I meant to put this up earlier and I forgot. I'll just leave it up here now.
I need to check. I closed Twitch because I think that was causing me some problems.
It's just a picture of Dom 1 hosting a trophy up. I forgot to put it up earlier.
All right, so something I already seen. But yeah, so I'm really excited for this upcoming split. I'm sad to hear. Well, I'm not sad to hear what they're doing with Academy. It's kind of weird. They didn't really give too much like insight on that. But I know that they're trying to incorporate amateur leagues into Academy a bit more. So it's going to be like less broadcast time for the. I don't know. I feel it's going to be weird. I feel it's going to lose like some of its. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Academy changes, to be honest.
I would rather than them doing that somehow integrate collegiate with the Academy.
Yeah, that'd be kind of. I know collegiate has like diamonds in it though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's no different than like real college sports. I mean, you got guys who are like going to be plumbers in a couple of years, in college sports. You know, but like, I would like to see. That's a huge, broad thing of players, and I would like to see more of like a. Even if it wasn't part of Academy, just Riot like put some fucking collegiate esports in my eyes. You know what I mean? Just fucking give me a national ranking of teams. That would be perfect.
Ooh, that would actually be hype as fuck.
So I could be like, oh shit, dude, like Ohio State's #1 and they're playing like #4 Miami this week. And I know there's like 100 other teams that I don't care about, but I would watch that. Like, and then you can be like, yo, there's this player on like Ohio State that's like really good. This dude's like a challenger AD carry. Somebody should pick this dude up. That's what I mean. Like if there was just like a national ranking and then like maybe Riot spotlighted like one game a week of like, hey, the rank 10 teams playing like the rank 2 team.
Yes.
That would be like perfect.
That's definitely what LCS needs to try and do, at least. Like I suggested, they should do an Academy Player of the Week, because they have the pre-show and everything, and not everyone watches Academy, but people could get hyped about, oh shit, this guy got a fucking pentakill, and then like 1v9 the game and had like a 12 KDA. After this game, and this is him. They show the plays that he does. It gets you excited. It gets you to know the players more, and that'd be something that would be really cool to see. But yeah, man, the LCS changes. I'm really excited for it. It'll be really cool to see how the season turns out. So
yeah, it's gonna be like the first, and I know it's gonna have bumps, but I'm really hyped about it.
Yeah. All right. With that, hey guys, at this time we usually open it up to the chat. Unless Vega, do you have anything else that you want to get a little bit deeper in?
No, I'm totally fine with opening up to chat. Questions, comments, things. Riot, put me in charge of collegiate esports. Just do it. I'll do it right.
He'll do it.
I'll
even help him. I'll be on the desk.
We'll fix that. Yeah, we need a panel where we review and rank the teams.
Yes, that's exactly what we need. But yeah, guys, this is when we open up questions to the chat. We usually give like a minute, 2 minutes, or whatever. Any questions? Any like things you want to know about items? How we feel about stuff about the game, season, blah blah blah. But and if not, you just end it. But in the meantime, Vega, when are scouting rounds?
It's pretty soon. Hold up. It's a girl. This dog is a girl.
It is a female dog. Okay. Jeez.
Gosh, Alyssa. Hold on. Scouting Grounds 2020. Hold on. It is.
If anyone is interested, wait, quick.
The 9th, so 3 more days.
Oh shit.
How do I feel the meta will shift to new items? So, all right. So,
ooh, I have
this is his area.
Insight on this because I have played PvE, and there's so much fucking damage, dude. There's so much damage. Like it feels like Runes Reforged all over again, but with items. Like,
yeah, I've heard.
Like I got one shot by a Silas, and he had like 2 items, and I never got one shot by a Silas with 2 items before. And
I've
I was
heard
like, what the
that
fuck?
Enchanter like spellcast supports now are like gonna be completely the meta. Like Brand is back, baby, like shit like that.
Yeah, the tank items, like I was like a tank player during the season, and I like took a top a bit, and the tank items like they feel okay. They don't feel like impactful. Meanwhile, we have like ADCs. This Ashe, she built no crit. She had Manamune, Bork, and Runons, and she had she had Gale Force, which is the item that does the dash, a Manamune, and like Bork, I'm pretty sure. And she was like just fucking killing people, and she was just running them down, and there was nothing you could do. Like these items are going to be like just be ready to play a lot of like games, and just be ready for like a lot of damage to be kind of shifted around, because the preseason is gonna be it's gonna be a lot to get used to. Because I don't know, for one, it feels like I was playing around with some stuff, and maybe building mythic items. Like mythic items, they're OP, they're super OP, but sometimes they take like a really long time to build, and like you'd build it, and then you're like, all right, I finished it, but you'd feel like you're missing something kind of. And so I feel people may realize like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have built my mythic item first, possibly. Like the passives are in fact game changing, but for some champs you'll like feel really bad about building it first, because like sure you get the passive, but some items just work better for your champ if you build it first. So it's gonna be a lot of figuring out, but be ready for a lot of damage that you're not used to. That's what I have to say. It's gonna be fucked up. Like it's gonna be fucked up. Yeah, that's it.
That's the quote of the stream. It's gonna be fucked up. It's gonna be fucked up. It's coming in right in the middle of our season for AD also, so it's gonna be fucking great. We're taking a week break to let everybody like play on it. Then we're gonna come back, and it's gonna be like absolute chaos.
I gotta come in and just talk about items. I'm like, guys,
we gotta do a video. Like, listen. All right. Any other questions before we cut it for the night, everybody?
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? If not, thank you for catching us and tuning in for our show. I know it's been a while, and this isn't our usual time, but we really appreciate everyone for coming in and watching us. We'll be back next week. I don't know the day or time. Vega, just let me know.
Since there's not like a scheduled stuff going on, guys, we'll hit you up. But we do have scouting ground starting on the 9th, so probably sometime around next week we'll hit you with some scouting ground stuff, some reaction stuff like that. And look for if any news drops. We're now open to emergency episodes, so be ready to watch some big news drops. We'll be on top of it. We all have the time now. There's nothing to watch. We're dying for content, so any free agency news will be here for you.
Yeah. One last thing, guys. If you want to tune in Scouting Grounds, watch Copy. He was 100 Thieves' next mid laner. He's doing some nice stuff. Him and Kanavi, they're pretty good. Kanavi's on 100 Thieves now. Wait. Kenvi, my bad.
Kenvi.
Kenvi.
I was like, Kanavi's
Kenvi.
on.
Yeah, Kanavi's on a different. Is an LPL.
I was like, wait a minute, they signed Kanavi.
No.
Where did this happen?
Yeah,
I was like,
but yeah, Scouting Grounds. Please tune in. It's a good way to support our younger talent and kind of get to know them. You know, everyone wants to know their players. If you get excited about someone making some play, you're like, oh shit, yo, this guy's nice. That was me. But yeah, guys, really thank you for catching us and keep watching. Keep an eye out. We will do an emergency episode if you request it, and we'll just do it randomly. So,
yep.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Great.
Have a good night.
Bye. Have a good night, guys.